Let's go back out to Israel. With us now is the former Israeli ambassador to the United States, Michael Oren. Mr. Ambassador, thank you for being with us here on the Hill. You just heard a little bit from Morgan there, and I'm wondering if you wanted to pick up.
I want to thank you, Morgan. That is the clearest voice I've heard in the last 60 hours. I've been doing a tremendous amount of American media, going now on the second all-nighter, if you will. And I've heard these animals referred to as militants. I've heard them referred to as fighters. That was in my last interview about 20 minutes ago. Fighters. Fighters do not line up 260 young people at a music festival and shoot them dead. Fighters don't take families out of their homes and kill them in cold blood. They don't rip families out of vans and shoot them in the head. They do not, as Morgan said, rip the clothes off of young women, rape them publicly, and then parade them through the streets of Gaza where they'll be spat upon and beaten up. These are not fighters. These are not militants. These are vicious medieval jihadists. And by not calling them that, it's not just a disservice to the Jewish people, Morgan. It's a disservice to civilization itself. And this endless moral equivalency. You know, the headlines in the New York Times in an outbreak of war was Netanyahu declares war. Netanyahu declares war after 200 Israeli civilians and citizens are massacred in cold blood. And that has been the headlines over and over again. And then they have this tendency to aggregate all the people killed so far. They'll say 1,200 people or 1,300 people killed so far in the fighting in Gaza. That's lumping together all of Israel's casualties, including these hundreds, now apparently 900 people killed as of tonight, with the terrorists who killed them. That's like sort of saying after 9/11, well, 3,019 people were killed on 9/11. That's the way we feel about it. So thank you, Morgan, and thank you for all of you who feel the way she does and expresses support for us at this very grim and dark hour.
Mr. Ambassador, the analogies are made, of course, to 9/11, that this is sort of Israel's 9/11 or Israel's Pearl Harbor. After 9/11, there was a lot of introspection here in the United States, a lot of soul searching, a lot of questions as to what went wrong and how did we miss it. I think of the 9/11 Commission report, in which one of the headlines from it was the system was blinking red, and yet it still occurred on our soil. There are real questions at this hour about how all of this was missed. Do you have a sense of how this essentially was an intelligence breakdown?
I do. But for the record, we should say this is our 9/11. We should never compare tragedies. But just numerically, proportionally, this is about 13, 14 times greater than 9/11. This would be the equivalent to, we've now lost 900 people. That's about 14 times more than all of the Americans lost on 9/11, the equivalent of about maybe 40, 50,000 Americans killed in a single day. It's quite unspeakable from our perspective. I've spent a long time in the Israeli government. After I was ambassador, I was in Knesset, and I was the deputy in the prime minister's office. And for a while, I was actually in charge of the Gaza situation. And I probably learned more in that period than I learned in many years in college. But in 9/11, and I think in 50 years ago during our Yom Kippur War, again, a surprise attack for which Israeli intelligence was unprepared, there is type of a groupthink, like what they call in anglicized Hebrew a conception. And what was the conception? Well, back in 1973, it was, Egypt and Syria had suffered such a defeat in the 1967 Six-Day War that they would never dare attack again. In the case of Gaza, I think the groupthink was that Hamas has two hats. Hamas is a jihadist, a terrorist organization, but it's also a sovereign in the Gaza Strip. It's a de facto independent Palestinian state in the Gaza Strip, and Hamas is responsible. It's responsible for the quality of life, for sewage, for electricity. And it was a feeling in Israel that Hamas was increasingly focused on that hat, on the sovereign hat. And then if you had dumped a lot of Qatari cash in the lap of Hamas, if you let 20,000 Gazans come into Israel to work every day, that would give Hamas something to lose if it started firing at us, and would certainly make Hamas focus more on its civic sovereign responsibilities. And it turns out it's completely wrong. These people are so subhuman that they don't care about their own people. They're going to use them as human shields, and now going to use our hostages as human shields. And in fact, it's not widely known that I learned while I was in office that Hamas uses and loses about 300 Palestinian children a year forced to dig tunnels. It's child abuse at a massive, massive scale. So I think my conclusion was, after this period in government, was that everything you know about civilization, about human behavior, something what we call normal human behavior, if you know it, throw it out the window when you're dealing with Gaza.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.